stuck in a cabin in the middle of the woods for a fishing trip in Walker, Minnesota. There'll be a bunch of my friends arriving soon for what will be hopefully incredible trip. And I wanted to make this video because there's so much going on in the world. And people are looking around. People are looking around, and whether it's myself or just about every single person I talk to, there's a few unifying things that we all are seeing that seem obvious. People are saying, this doesn't seem like there's a lot of really good, wholesome, incredible people around anymore. People are saying that there's so much craziness and wrongdoing and evil, horrible stuff happening all across the world. People are saying it's getting harder to live. It's getting harder to just get by, not even financially, but emotionally, physically. It seems like everyone's health is drastically dropping and people are melting away, both emotionally, physically, and psychologically. The world itself is confused. It is confused and wondering and searching and looking all around us for what is the solution? What is the answer? Where and how can I get help or talk to someone? Or there has to be something that can fix all of this. There has to be something that can make my life better, make my friends and my family's lives better. And there actually is. There's one single person who can be, a little tongue-in-cheek, I will say, the savior of yourself, your friends, your family, your community, and thus also affect the rest of the world. This person you look in the mirror at every single day. This person you talk to every single day. This person you know incredibly well. You see, we spend all of our time thinking about what others are doing, what is happening to us, and all these different factors, and almost all of them are pretty true, and it is real. But we don't ask and think about, how am I creating all of this? And this sounds a little crazy, this sounds a little out of touch, because there are things that happen, of course, outside of our ability of control. But in essence, if you're wondering where the lack of really personable, loving, incredible relationships have gone, it's because you are not having in-depth, real, incredible relationships. And I am definitely guilty of this for sure. I think just about everyone is. How many times do you call your mom? How many times a month do you call your brother, your father? How many times a month do you just call someone, not because you need something, not because you want something, but just literally only because you wonder how they're doing because you care about them? This is a question seemingly a lot less people over time seemingly think about or consider or even ever have crossed their mind. Another good question that I've thought about is, am I a good son? Am I a good brother? Am I a good friend? Because as well as we're looking outside of everything else going on, the vast majority of the time, we never look at ourselves because we are afraid to look at ourselves. We are afraid to admit that we are the source and reason for a lot of this going on, especially in, for example, the dating market. People are wondering in the dating market, young and old, where are the real people at? Where are like real women and real men? Why does it seem like people are just ghosting each other all the time? It's because you're probably doing the same thing. When you don't want to talk to someone anymore, are you saying, hey, I just don't want to talk to you anymore? Or do you just stop responding to them? When someone says or does something you don't agree with, do you just stop talking to them? Do you disown them? Do you do these things and then wonder, where are the real, genuine, incredible, great people anymore? A lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, this is the answer to why what you see in the world is like it is. Because a lot of people, especially men and women, have a hard time, especially in today's world with constant social media, making friends online or making friends in person. But how much do you actually go out of your way randomly with zero desire to get anything out of anyone, to say hi to someone, a stranger, to compliment a stranger, to compliment someone online, to compliment a friend of yours? How often, how loving, how giving, how helpful, how kind, all these different things that you want more of in your life, in every single area of your life. How much are you being that? And that is it. That is the one thing you must do, is be that all the time, every day, with zero excuses of any time. Because people come to me, and I've done this too. I've came to my father, I've came to my friends, I've went to my mother, I went to so many different people, and sometimes out of just curiosity or actually looking for help or thoughts, thinking, things are like this. Why is it like this? Without asking, what am I doing? What am I not doing that is even allowing this situation or person, etc., to act or be this way? So I want you to ask yourself, how can I be the best version of me I can be? How can I be what I want to see in the world? And only when you be what you want to see in the world will the world actually change and transform and become that for you. You know, I grew up during a certain time period of my teenage years extremely lonely, extremely depressed, because I didn't really have any friends. A lot of my family didn't like or agree with what I was doing in business and laughed at me and scoffed at me. And when I went to school, I was constantly bullied on the bus. I was bullied at school. I had teachers taking me out of class, telling me what I was doing in business. I was going to become a failure. And there was a conglomeration and storm of all these different things going on at once. And then, you know, I would think through and go, why are these things happening? Why are these things happening? Why don't I really seem to have friends? Why are the teachers taking me out of class? All these different things. And things changed, only changed. And I got my answers to those questions once. Number one, I became me. I decided I'm always going to become me and be me. Because otherwise you are living a lie, a literal lie in the world. And by living a lie, anything and everything that can go wrong, that isn't what you want to happen, and other people and situations will not work out ever. That will always be the case until you be your real true self and you be what you want to see in the world. And I'm about to hang out with a few of my many friends who I've known for years, who I appreciate, who I love very much. And I think what's also really important is your priority of what you want to become in the world. Because a lot of people, including myself, let's be honest, everyone wants to be like, I want to travel more. I want to live on my own terms. I want to be free. I want to make more money. I want a new house, car, you name it. I just want to get out of debt, all these different things. Those things are all important and play a role in your life. But what are even more impactful questions is, how can I be a better friend? How can I care more for the people around me? How can I, before you want and desire and chase after any of these extraneous things in life that are things, to get those things that you actually want, you have to first handle and take care of the people and community around you and yourself in such a loving, incredible, and real way. And when you ask yourself these much more important questions, a lot of the material things you want in life work themselves out because you must align yourself with what is real, true, and genuine with those you care about, with those around you, with yourself. which is also something that I think is incredibly important. The most important skill you will have in your life by far is your ability to handle, communicate, and work with yourself in your own mind, in your own brain. Because time and time again, in reality of, again, everything we see around us, it's what's in here that's making the decisions that keep you in the cycles that seem impossible to escape, whether it's debt, whether it's depression, whatever the case may be. A lot of people, most people are in cycles that they just can't break out of in their lives in any regard. What is causing that is your inability, your current inability that you will change, your current inability to communicate healthily and to be able to work through things inside. And these are all skills that take time, they take energy, they take months and years to develop properly. But if you do chase after instead of what really doesn't matter in life, and if you instead chase after building stronger relationships with others around you and building a strong relationship, most likely, more importantly, with yourself, this is when your life, your community, and the entire world literally changes for the better. Before you say, well, I have no impact on the world. The world is so big, there's so many wars, so much crazy shit going on. Yeah, what about Jesus? What about any prophet that's ever been? How about Alexander the Great? What about Mother Teresa? What about every single one of the people that you know as the most impactful influencer like figures of all time? They were one person, but they were so much themselves. They became what they wanted to see in the world so strongly in their character and who they are and how they treated others that the world itself literally changed around them. This, for a lot of people, sounds like hooah, bullshit, craziness. But it's real. And you can either accept that and improve your life, or don't accept it, and your life will change and meander however it wants. You don't have control until you become that which does have control of your life and everything around you. And I want to leave you with a message of, number one, what you be and act in real life. You can't think about it. You can't plan about it. You can't tell your friends about it. You have to actually be what you want to happen in the entire world. How do I structure the foundations of my soul, of how I communicate, of what I sound like, of who I am? Which takes a little time to figure out. You're going to want to figure that out now. And if I do that, most likely a lot of your life, most aspects of your life will change, and so will the lives of your friends, family, community, and the world throughout.